Assalamualaikum student. Today we will start our new chapter that is related to circle theorem. And in circle theorem, our first chapter will be angle in a segment. As I already told you that we started circle theorem, so before starting this chapter, we should know about different terminologies related to circle. So one by one, I recalling all the terms again for you. So this is a circle that is point is the center of circle, and the outer boundary of circle, that is the perimeter of circle, is called circumference of a circle. That circumference can be represented by c, and its formula is 2 pi r. If you want to calculate its circumference, then it is 2 pi r. The segment which join center with any point of circle, that is called the radius. Means this line is called radius. Radius. Same way, if you draw another segment, that is also a radius. So all these are radius. If it draw there, then it's also radius. Same way, if I join a point in a way that it touches a circle on two different points and it will be passing from the center of circle, then it is called diameter. That is the diameter. That is diameter. Diameter of circle. And the relationship between diameter and radius circle is this: diameter is twice of radius. It's double of radius. One radius, two radius. That's why diameter is double of radius. D equals to 2r. That is the relationship between diameter and radius. Another term related to circle is a chord. If a segment joining the circle at two different points but not passing through the center of circle, then it is called a chord. So diameter is a special chord which passes through the center of circle. If it is not passing through the center of circle, then it is a chord. That is called a chord. Okay. More terms related. If we join, let's suppose, if we join these 2 points, it's a chord. That is a chord. But what happened there? We constructed a triangle here, and this triangle is called isosceles triangle because this AC and AD are the radius of circle. Means these two should be equal. That is the radius. That is the radius. So when two sides of triangle are equal, it means that the triangle is isosceles, and for this angle equals to this angle. So these are the basic things we should know about the circle. So whenever we draw a chord from the two radius, we join a chord. If we consider a triangle having two radius, then the triangle's form is isosceles, and these two angles should be equal because these are two lines are radius. So these are all the terms we should know and we have to remember for doing the chapter angle in a segment. Furthermore, you already know about the arc. Part of a circle is called arc. So here in this circle, if I can draw an arc, so from starting from this point to this point, that is an arc, and that arc is called, that is an arc. So I'm drawing the new figure so that you can remember all these things. Let's suppose we have a circle and another point of circle, and then join a segment is. So from this point to this point, that these 2 points, so this is the arc. So part of circle, the part of circumference that is called an arc. So there are two types of arc. we can say that two types of arc. That is minor arc. That arc is a minor arc. Why minor arc? Because it is formed by less than a semicircle, or you can say that less than 180 degree. That angle is less than 180 degree, or it is less than a semicircle. So whenever the arc is less than a semicircle, then it is a minor arc. And if we talk about this arc, if we talk about starting from this point, and we are talk about this arc, then this arc is a major arc. That arc is major arc because it is formed by more angle greater than 180 degree, and or you can say that it is greater than a semicircle. So if the arc is greater than a semicircle, then it is a major arc, and if the arc is smaller than a semicircle, then it is a minor arc. Or you can say that the arc formed by less than 180 degree is a minor arc, and the arc formed by greater than 180 degree, here greater than 180 degree, then it is a major arc. So these terminologies we should remember for starting a new chapter. Now I'm going to start a new chapter, and its first theorem. So our first theorem is center angle formed by minor arc is double that of circumference angle formed by major arc. We already know minor arc, what is minor arc, what is major arc. The relationship between the angle formed by minor arc is that the center angle formed by minor arc is double that of circumference angle formed by major arc. I'll show you in a figure two that how is the relationship between these two terms, but we have to remember this statement that center angle formed by minor arc is double that of circumference angle formed by major arc. Now I'll show you how we can see that in the figure, or how we can prove it. If you see here, that is minor arc AB, blue shaded arc representing minor arc, and this ACB representing major arc. That is a center angle because it's formed at center, and that is a circumference angle formed at the circumference of circle. So Q is the center angle and P is the circumference angle. And we already learned the theorem that angle formed by center angle formed by minor arc is double that of center angle formed by circumference angle formed by major arc. So according to our theorem, the relationship will be Q should be equal to 2 times P. According to theorem, we learned the angle Q should be twice of P. Means that if angle P equals to 50 degree, then angle Q should be equals to what? 100 degree. If angle P equals to 50 degree, angle Q should be equals to 100 degree. So if I drag this center angle, it will be like this, it will be like this, or it will be like this. And all the time, the center angle is double that of circumference angle. Okay, if this figure should be like this figure should be like this figure should be like this. One angle is formed at center, other angle is formed at circumference on the major arc. This figure should be like this, or I can move here, this. All the time, the Q should be twice of P. You have to remember that. Okay, Q should be twice of P, because Q is a center angle and it is formed by minor arc, and P is a circumference angle and it is formed by major, and it is formed at major arc. So the relationship between is that the center angle formed by minor arc is double that of circumference angle formed by major arc, formed by or formed on major arc. So and this angle should be one important point should be that the starting and ending point should be the same. The starting point is A either for minor arc or center angle or the circumference angle, or you can say that ending point. So these 2 points should be remain the same. Then this theorem should be valid. Otherwise, it will not be valid. For validity, the starting and ending point should be the same. Means this, if we mark the minor arc like this, you can see that if the minor arc is like this, then this major arc should be like this, and the center angle is double of circumference angle. So I'll show you. I've already said if p equals to 50, then q should be equal to 100. Let's suppose the p should be 59.58. Then what do you think? What is the value of q? So if p equals to 59.58, it means that q should be equals to, then q should be twice of 59.58, and that should be around 61. 119.16. So q should be 119.16. So we'll check it. And 19.16. You can see. If I drag point A here, all the values, whatever P is, Q should be the double of that. All the values. If I drag this angle here, this shape will be the for my center angle, circumference angle. This shape will be equal to, so, and all the conditions. If the starting point and ending point are the same, then center angle is double of circumference angle. You can see that. Center angle is double of circumference angle. If I 99.4, then this should be equals to 49.7, half of whatever. So our theorem will be angle formed by minor arc, center angle formed by minor arc is double that of circumference angle on the major arc. So I hope you will remember this, and this is our first theorem. Now you have to do the assignment related to this theorem. Sometimes we have let's suppose the question will be like this: what will be the value of circumference angle if this angle is 79.96? It means that P should be half of 79.96, and we can easily find the value of P by dividing 79.96 by 2. If you want to find the value of P, and the center angle is 118.35, for P is half of 118.35, and we can easily find the value of P. So the question will be related to like this: if we join a segment here, and let's suppose there is missing value of, I create a question, and if P is 58.07, then Q should be double of P. In the same way, we can find the value of A and B, because these two angles are, as OA is a radius, OB is a radius, so we can easily say that this is X, this is also X. So first we calculate the value of Q with the help of P, as Q is double of P. So Q equals to 2 times 58.57, and when we calculate the value of Q, we can calculate the value of these two angles, because these are the base angle of an isosceles triangle, because OA and OB are the radial circle. So we have to use the terms related to circle to find the unknown values of a circle. So I hope you will be able to do the assignments. That lecture is end for today. So I hope you will do the assignment.